Hello, my name is Tim Arnson, and today I'm going to try to show you how to prune Rose of Sharon into trees. There's a lot of videos on YouTube on pruning Rose of Sharon, but I could never find anything on how to turn them into one stem or multi-stem trees. Um, if you'll look at the white pine right here, they've all been pruned uh, by me. And trees are by nature trying to grow a single stem straight up. Bushes, which a Rose of Sharon is, they're the opposite. They want to fork out like this Rose of Sharon called Little Kim right here. That's what they want to do. Here's one, another Little Kim that has been pruned over the years to make it into something more compatible with a garden situation. So we'll look around at the different Rose of Sharon and talk a little bit about how to do this, when to do it, why to do it. Here's a little one right here that is trained into a tree real nice. You can see down here all the cuttings that I've made over the last probably 3 or 4 or 5 years in order to get it to this stage. Okay. Now this is what happens. I need to work on this one here. This is pretty common to where it just wants to get wild at the bottom. So what I'll do is I'll start off cutting that off. Then from there I've got that left. I'll probably make this a single stem. So these will go, this will go, and then I'll prune this off to make it stubbier. It has to be stubby or you'll get this flopping effect. So they need to be pruned every fall to keep them within a certain height, because a lot of them, as you can see on this white double over here and the pink and the white double over there, they will get tall. I made a mistake early on and let them get that tall. Then I learned by a lot of mistakes in this garden that you don't want to let them get tall. You want to keep them short and kind of stocky. So moving along, you got to work with what you have. It'd be nice if they were all single stems, but I kind of like the double stems too. I like to get them up a certain height, whether it's 2 foot or 4 foot or whatever, and then have a ball out. This one right here is probably the oldest one in the garden. I let it get too big. I can prune it in the fall. I'll come and prune it about here, take off a foot or 2, and then it'll grow another couple foot next year. The way my wife and I do this is she'll come here and she'll go like that, and I'll take my shears and just whack that whole thing off, and then we'll do that. Works out pretty good. It took us a couple years to kind of figure that out. It looks like no stems have been taken out of here, but actually dozens have been taken out, trying to not get it too crowded in there and get it the shape that you want it. I like Rose of Sharon because they bloom late. When everything else is about done, they're getting started. And they have good winter attraction also. In the wintertime, you see these nice tree forms. Look at the rabbit right there in the rose garden. Anyway, so they look good in the winter. They look good year round. They're just starting to bloom now, and you know, they'll be blooming in September and part of October when nothing else is blooming at all. Here's one that I may leave stocky. I think it's called Bluebird. It didn't want to be pruned at all, I decided, and some of them I left stocky, but you still have to do the pruning to take out some of the interior stems. So as you kind of look around over here, bad. It's okay. Well, okay. Keep looking down this way. Keep that at your back. So anyway, as we get down here, you can kind of see the way it's done. Here's a nice size right here. Maybe a little taller. If I had it all do over again, I think I'd make them all between 5 and 8 foot. But it's sturdy enough. The reason they flop is when they bloom, you get so many blooms. All these buds will eventually bloom, and they get so heavy they just wallow around. So you've got to primarily take a few years in order to get the stems that you leave thick enough to support all the flowering. This red heart, now to me, that's a real nice size and shape. And it didn't want to go that way. It looked bad for a while, but if you'll just be patient and build up that bottom stem, and then keep figuring out where you want to prune it and how you want to shape it, this has got it made now. It may live a long time and just be pretty year after year. And it's kind of fun fooling with these. It's a chore in the garden, and I kind of look forward to, get a little creative. Now, one thing I do, I recently pruned this a couple weeks ago. I'm always out here kind of fooling around in the garden, and for a few years this was actually pulled together just to let it get stronger. And once it gets stronger, I went ahead and cut that, and they're fine now. But you've got to build up that strength and that stockiness, because if you don't, once they start flowering, it just gets wild. This is probably the most floriferous Rose of Sharon there is. It's just, and they all root readily. Well more than half of these Rose of Sharon I started from just cuttings through the years. Been doing this for probably a dozen years. They root readily, they grow fast. So what you're looking at there, I would say 6 years ago, was just a stem about that tall. So you can kind of see, you kind of work with what you have. This one has been held together a little bit by that stake, and they're fine now. I need to cut that off. The best Rose of Sharon, I think, are the chiffon series. This is a blue chiffon. We'll look at a pink chiffon and a white chiffon. They're kind of a new variety. They bloom like crazy, and just a neat species. These are what I call doubles. They got a name for them. I forget what it is, but there's pink and there's white and there's red, and they grow fast and flower like crazy. Here's a pink chiffon. I guess that's my favorite Rose of Sharon right there. And it did not want to be a single stem. I worked with this for 3 or 4 years to get it where I wanted it. And so that's kind of the gold standard right there. But I kind of like this look right here too. Looks almost tropical, like a jungle being a forester, which I am, I kind of like the tree and the tree shape anyway. So Carolyn, if we swing up here, we'll get the sun at our back again. And we can look at this. Here's some that I brought out. I need to, these are all been started a couple years ago from a scion wood. And I just need to trim them out, get them ready to make a single tree out of them. This one, I don't know what I'm going to do with. He doesn't look like he wants to cooperate any which way. But it's what I call a double white. That's a great one. The rest of these, I just get out here and get them going. Can't mow this low area when it rains, so today it gets mowed. But as you kind of look through here, you can get a view of what I'm trying to accomplish. If you'll go to, I have a YouTube video, Arnzen's Garden, A-R-N-Z-E-N, and it's just a garden tour, which I made a week ago. But now that the Rose of Sharon is starting to bloom, I wanted to make one strictly on Rose of Sharon because it is the dominant species in the garden and adds the most color. How many minutes we got? 11? Okay.
You got 3 more minutes.
Okay. I got them a little too close spaced right here. Now this one, straight ahead, I planted a white next to a red, probably 10 years ago. The red's a little more dominant, but they're both that double. Man, they bloom like crazy. And this one over here to the left, like big old snowball, and it's going to get a lot more blooms than that. So that's about it. I just wanted to share how I do it and the mistakes I made and what I learned, and I couldn't find it anywhere else. So that's about it. Good luck doing it. If you got any questions, email me, Tim Arntzen at Windstream. And there's my beautiful wife, the camera lady. Bye-bye. Say bye, Carol.
Bye.